Absolutely. Thank you. This is Tia from Geek Vibes Nation. Luke, thank you so much for taking the time to do this. I'm sure your day is stacked. Another wonderful season as Lenny Bruce in The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. I want to say that your performance, on top of being Emmy winning, right? Every season, it's like, where's Lenny Bruce? Did you imagine back in season one when you were brought in that the fans were going to gravitate to your performance the way they did and that you would continue being in the show?
No, I didn't. I thought it was just going to be one episode, and I was happy for that at the time. I was happy for the work. Um, but it's been a real high thrill to get invited back, again and again to participate in this, huge and exciting endeavor called Mrs. Maisel. It's just been awesome. But no, I didn't. I had no designs for a future in that role, aside from just that pilot that we shot.
When you're playing Lenny Bruce, how do you get into the character? Because obviously Lenny Bruce was a real life character. Do you just primarily go off what you've done in research, or did you try and bring your own flair to the character?
It's kind of a real, a real mix. It's a real, it's real cosmic gumbo. That's. I'm not actually saying cosmic gumbo. That's a that's a reference to something else. It's a mix. You sort of absorb as much as you can and hope that something good comes out of it. I mean, I think it was really lucky to have so many resources for information on Lenny. There's a lot written about it. There's great archives of his performances. There's a little bit of stuff that's, live. And for me, I just relished in getting to soak that stuff up. Partly because it was good for, getting the imagination fired up, but also because I'm just very fond of that man and his body of work. So it was kind of anything and everything. And then I think the lucky thing about the show was that because it wasn't, we weren't adhering to any kind of chronology, like it wasn't a biopic, I kind of had some freedom to not feel like I had to stick to a version of him so adherently that I couldn't stay loose.
For people who may not know Lenny Bruce, maybe this is the first time they are hearing of him, what would you like viewers to take away about the character?
I mean, one of the impressions that I got about him just in kind of studying him was that, in spite of his travails, and of which there were many and they were difficult, and he was, from my impression, very kind of mistreated in the courts, and clearly there were people that wanted to see him fall apart. I also have the sense that he loved performing, that he loved comedy, that he loved being in a room with people and feeling alive with people. And I tried to I've tried to emulate that energy in playing him. That he's somebody who loves life and loves people and believes in a kind of goodness that is not born of sentimentality, is not born out of a kind of concept of what it is to be correct, but is born out of something true within us, and enables us a kind of a future where we can evolve and grow. And that was my impression of him that I kind of hope I kind of touched on in some degree.
Did you ever feel nervous when performing as him, especially as like stand up? Because I feel as if it probably is a little nerve-wracking to be funny.
Yeah. Yeah, it felt really weird, especially in the beginning of shooting the show. It felt weird. Although I have to say, quite quickly, I realized that there were people being told to laugh at me, whether I whether they found me funny or not. They were being paid to do it, and so it kind of it felt really good to just have people sit there and support me like that. I mean, the actors who played the audience on this show, I'm very, very grateful for, because they sat in those rooms, those smoky rooms, hour after hour, listening to me repeat those words over and over again, and they made me feel like I was killing it every time. So
It has to be a good feeling.
yeah, it was good. It was a good feeling.
And I'm sure that you're probably asked this in every interview, but I mean, how was it coming back and for the final run being able to act across from Rachel? Because she's just absolutely amazing as Midge.
Yeah, she sure is. I mean, it's always been really. I've always been sort of, just so excited to get to work on this show, and Rachel's a huge part of that feeling. I really have always felt anchored by her, and I've always felt. I really feel like she's absorbing me when I'm with her and doing those scenes, and reflecting something really rich and lovely back. So, yeah, I'm sad to see
And
it go.
me too, honestly. I just watched the final episode and
Yeah.
me too. I want to say that. You obviously spend most of your scenes with Rachel. You've done a scene with Tony. Was there anyone on the show that you wish Lenny could have had a scene with, but unfortunately didn't?
Um, I would have liked to have seen Lenny and Susie have a kind of like a road trip of some kind. Maybe Alfie could have shown up in the back seat, kind of. Of course, there's Moish, there's everybody. I mean, I would have liked the scene with everybody on this show.
That would have been interesting with Alfie. I'm trying to think how Lenny and Alfie would have correlated with each other.
I think they would have done all right. They would have figured out a routine.
Yeah. What how would you compare playing this character on this show in comparison to other characters that you've played? Like, would you say that this is a character that will probably stay with you throughout your career?
I mean, it's really, I've loved it. I've loved it, and I feel good about it, and I'm happy for the kind of attention that it's received, you know. Yeah.
No, it's amazing. It really is, like, seeing you come back time and time again. Were you shocked to hear that the fifth season would be the final season, or did you feel as if that was a good number of seasons to tell the story?
I really just sort of have always felt like that was, that was not something that maybe it's self-preservation or something. I didn't ever make any designs about how many seasons it should have. I mean, I just was happy to be invited back after the pilot, and told myself I just would see it through to however long they determined, us fit to do it. So, as sort of, as sad as it is, it's just, it doesn't, it just, it feels right, you know.
Well, as a fan since season one, it has been amazing seeing you in every season. The people behind the camera is telling me that this is time, but it's been really great speaking with you, Luke, and thank you again for your performance as Lenny Bruce.
Thank you so much. It's nice talking with you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Yeah, you too.